I think the attempt should be made. Many of you will have bought and loved his recent memoir, Trauma Farm. Perhaps almost everyone in this room, I'm imagining. But Brian's, of course, also a wonderful, wonderful poet, and a journalist and reviewer and all-round literary wonder. And that's just been acknowledged in the latest of a shower of awards. So the Lieutenant General's Award for Literary Excellence, which came in last week. So welcome, Brian.
Thank you very much, Kathy. For my piece here, we're going down to the bones, I guess, right to the bone. I want to thank, before I begin, of course, Kathy and Lynne, and also all the other contributors to this wonderful book. It's such a great idea for a collection, and such a great collection, and I'm so proud to be one of the people in this. This piece is called Cage of Bones. I was the lord of the wind, catching air, catching altitude, a roller boy before they called us roller boys. It was a summer in the early 1960s, somewhere around there, and I was alone, as 13-year-olds often like to be, fighting wind and gravity, grinding my roller skates into the asphalt, whistling down hills, leaping over the few speed bumps of that era. I thought I was beautiful and golden when I was flying, not the screwed-up, gimped kid that walked on strange legs. I had wheels, and I leaped and I twisted until the day I came down suddenly in the driveway. The pain went up my leg like a sexual thrill, and a dull throb followed, the cramping of my ankle, the paralysis. I managed to wrench the roller boot off, and then I watched an alien inhabit my flesh, growing it, molding it in front of my eyes. The sharp-edged ankle became a lumpy tumor, a swelling where the foot joined the ankle, and the pain never left, nor did the tumor. I didn't tell my parents. I just limped past them, grumbling about how I sprained my ankle on their cheap driveway. I was a cheeky, defiant one from the day I saw the first lights in the delivery room. It took 40 years and an x-ray before I allowed myself to admit I'd broken my first beautiful bone. Bone is a remarkable instrument. We normally have 206 bones in our adult bodies, perhaps a few extra, depending on breakage. Children have several dozen more bones because they fuse together as we age. Children's bones are very soft. You will notice this by the way children bounce, mostly. The ones that don't bounce cause the guilt that a few people carry for life after their children bounced badly when they were dropped or were backed over in the driveway. I saw a 9-year-old child struck by a car once, called by his father to join him. He turned and dashed across the road to his father's car. When the incoming vehicle hit him, the thump was chilling and he flew 30 feet through the air, bouncing his head and chest off the gravel. The look of horror on the father's face is an image that will stay with me until I die. The child was still for a paralyzing moment. Then he lifted his head like a snake testing the air while coming out of a burrow. He leapt to his feet and ran screaming to his daddy, only a few scratches from the gravel on his face. That kid bounced well. The foot bone connected to the leg bone connected to the knee bone connected to the thigh bone connected to the backbone connected to the neck bone connected to the head bone. Oh, hear the word of the Lord. Them bones gonna walk around. Them bones gonna walk around. These are the words of the old American traditional folk song, Dry Bones, created to explain the biblical prophecy of Ezekiel, while simultaneously and somewhat incorrectly teaching anatomy to children. It's one of many variations since the 1800s, later put to music by James Weldon Johnson. I heard it when I was very young, and it stuck with me. When I was a teenager, my bones started to sing strange songs to me. They hurt. I didn't know it then, but I was suffering a curious and rare disease called Kalman syndrome. This made my bones grow oddly and my hips splay, giving me a feminine waist atop a whole lot of leg that went down miles to the earth, it seemed, for such a tiny man, and I had arms like an orangutan. I also didn't know that the pain was a condition called osteoporosis. All my joints were wearing down, my bones hollowing out bird-like even as I was growing. And that's why, unconsciously, when I discovered Hector de Saint-Denis Garneau and his birdcage poem, I immediately understood it. I am a bird cage, a cage of bone with a bird. The bird in my cage of bones is death making his nest. I was building my nest in my bones, or maybe it actually was death in my bones, but I never had much sympathy for death, and so I rushed into my life, leaping from grey log to log on the beaches of the coast, crevasse jumping in the high mountains, leaping over death, denying the pain. Dem bones gonna walk around. Dem bones gonna walk around. Bones are the magical architecture of our lives. They protect our brains and hearts, and if you think about it, they offer us a peculiarly complex form of locomotion. After all, we could be oozing and slithering instead of walking. And they act as a kind of echolocation, reverberating within our flesh, adding to our deciphering of the ambient sounds around us. So not only can we knock bones together to make music, but our bones allow us to position ourselves within a crowd. In water, the skull and neck bones sing to the bones in the ear. Yes, we actually do hear it in our bones. I think I would like to end with a quick poem, short poem here, just to sort of, when we talk about the body, we always talk about that sort of one thing, the inevitability of time and its toll. And I sort of wanted to do this as a kind of wrap up for all of these works that are in here, even though this poem is actually about myself. But I think it's something that many of us recognize. When I look at these scars, this body of mine, the mark the chainsaw made on my face, this fantastic history written on my flesh, I wonder where I have been and what insanity I have done. I have a missing finger, distorted muscles, burned tissue carving a secret code in a circle on my belly, and the knees, when I get up, they crackle. Someone is telling me something. My friends say it's age, that I should settle down, cling to what is left of these simple limbs. But I think finally, yes, oh finally, with all sweetness and love, I'm ready for a second run at the wall. Thank you.